purpose of the video blog is to try and make sure that we've got some connection between what's happening at a board level and the rest of the team, the rest of the people that work for the Vela Group. The rate of change has been absolutely incredible, and what we've done is we've achieved our original objectives. We've brought two organisations together, we've merged together within the Vela Group. We've set ourselves some very stringent targets for the future and some aspirational strategic intentions for the future. But importantly, what we've actually achieved is the tangible, objective things that we said we'd do in the first instance. So we started with a programme of investing in the housing that we have, of improving them. We've also started with our development programme that we said we'd also try and tackle over the next 3 years, and we've been successful in putting in place a programme for building 500 or over 500 new homes, in fact, over that period of time. We've done some staff changes within that period of time as well. We've actually, particularly with our backroom services, merged a lot of the different teams that came together just over a year ago. We've got our governance arrangements sorted out, so the boards now know what they're responsible for. The new directors are bedded in, they know exactly what we're trying to achieve as an organisation. We've just gone through a process with our three boards, the two landlord boards and the Vela board, of addressing what should be within our business strategy for the next 3 to 5 years. And we've come to a conclusion that we want to be very aspirational. And we'll be talking to the whole of our staffing complement about this as well, about what those aspirations are and why they're important for us. We see ourselves growing as an organisation. We see ourselves delivering more rented accommodation. It may be market rented properties, it may be affordable rented properties or social housing properties. We see us delivering better ownership opportunities for people as well through shared ownership or other affordable ownership schemes. So we see ourselves developing over 2,500 properties into the Vela Group over that period of time, and we're well on our way to doing that in terms of the current programme. Our current programme will deliver over 500 properties over the next 3 years. We need to review how we reach that other aspirational target over the 5-year period. So those things will change. We will also hopefully diversify into other areas. We will look at whether or not we're better placed than others to deliver other services, other activities. Some of those may well be commercial, others will be not commercial, but certainly delivering services which are important in our communities. And the reason we want to do that is to diversify the amount of activity that we have and hopefully benefit from the income that that could generate as a group, which would then enable us to deliver more of the things we said we would deliver when we were established. The North East and Teesside in particular have quite high levels of deprivation, high levels of unemployment when you look at the national averages. What we want to do is use our strengths to try and compensate a little bit for that. And part of that process will be expanding so that we've got a greater depth to what we do, but also a greater capacity and ability through the resources that we manage to achieve those things over that period of time. Well, I think if you look at the size of the organisation, we're currently around about 17,500 properties. We aspire in 5 years' time to be at least 22,500 properties. We aspire to actually grow the size of the organisation. And believe you me, that's a difficult challenge, because over that same period of time, the amount of money available to us through government grant, through the Homes and Communities Agency, has declined. So the amount of grant going into each property is reducing. And at the same time, we want to actually be managing more properties, owning more properties. So that in itself is a very stiff challenge. And that means that we have to continue that diversification to try and make sure that we're gaining resources from other places, or that we have the financial robustness to borrow the money we might need to borrow to build those houses or buy those properties that we need to move forward on. Now that we're a bit more established, is that we've decided to adopt a charity each year. And this year we've decided to adopt the Vela Chair project as our sponsored charity for the next 12 months. That's brought a little bit of a personal challenge as well as an organisational challenge, because in February of next year, 2013, along with colleagues from Vela, I've been, I think volunteered is the term to use, to climb Kilimanjaro, which in itself is a fairly difficult challenge to meet. And we're looking forward to it, but with a bit of trepidation. But between now and then, we're also conscious that we've adopted Daisy Chain because it's an excellent charity. It provides services for children and their families, children who suffer autism, but their families as well who need support in helping to deal with that. It's an area of public expenditure that perhaps is missing a little bit of resource from the public purse, and I think that if we can contribute in any way to helping Daisy Chain to provide the services that children need and families need during that particularly formative year period, I think that's an advantage. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll raise an awful lot of money for Daisy Chain between now and February.